Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Okay, so let's just cut right to it. I did a segment a little ways back called Jaded Sight. That segment talked about looking at particular things, people, whatever it is, and it automatically has a strike in your book. Like with me, I do not like the new Dodge Durangos. I do not like them ever since they changed that body style into looking like the Porsche Cayenne. I missed when my Durango looked like a damn truck. Now it looks like whatever. So it automatically has a strike with me when it comes to speaking on it, criticizing it, judging it, whatever. That's jaded sight. When you have been dumped or burned by something, when you have been mistreated by something or a particular entity, company, or whatever it may be for so long that you automatically, when it comes to critiquing something that that company or whatever the situation is does, it's already going to have a negative impact in you from the giddy up. When I did Jaded Sight, I was specifically referring to Hollywood, how we have now become so accustomed to Hollywood giving us nonsense and bullshit that that's all we see. We rarely go into movies, and I say we, I mean particularly, mainly the general public, but particularly a lot of content creators and review critics on YouTube barely go into something with a truly honest and open mind. Depending on the company, the IP, the director, the messaging surrounding it, we will eviscerate something from the trailer. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not. All I want a review to be is fair. So with all this lead up, I've said a whole bunch of fluff and bullshit to say this. Can we please ease up on She-Hulk? The bulk of the content creators that I watch unfairly, with jaded sight, eviscerate that show. For starters, I hate the fact that these particular content creators who I watch with regularity have put me in a position to defend a Marvel property. Good God, how dare you? How dare you put me in this spot? As the tagline of Free Mind Thinkers is unbiased and unfiltered. Sure, I believe that the overwhelming majority of crap that Disney's Marvel produces is woke trash, but I still give it a fair shake. And if I don't give it a fair shake, I admit where that bias is. I'll see something and go, nope, not for me. I'm not even going to speak on it and keep it pushing. But I have heard content creators kill She-Hulk from the opening trailer. And I'm not talking about the legit criticism. I mean, they nitpick. There are content creators that nitpick every single line. And if they honestly look back at it with the movies they like, those movies do the exact same thing. The example being, people were annoyed with the inane conversation between Bruce and Jen, Hulk and She-Hulk, in the car about Captain America being a virgin. Yeah, I mean, is it something that you can say is unnecessary? Possibly. I mean, sure, why not? But if you think back on it, if you look at it in the reality, that's probably one of the most organic things they have. Two people, particularly cousins, family, two people talking about absolutely nothing on a road trip. I mean, that is the definition of, yeah, that happens. So to roast the whole thing, so to put so much emphasis on that conversation, oh, come on, y'all. Just, you know, now, side note, there have been tweets recently that have talked about everybody wanted to know Cap's sex life. All the MCU fans wanted to know. I would like to meet in real life these MCU fans, because that's just something that Marvel threw out there as bullshit. Dude, quit addressing the people that criticize an inane conversation. And to prove my point about you wouldn't do it for something you like, what was the point of the conversation between Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in, what movie is that? Pulp Fiction. When he's talking about, do you know what they call a cheeseburger in France? Who gives a shit? It did nothing for the movie. It was just an inane conversation between two people on the road. Nobody complained about that. So why complain about this? That's all I'm saying. Look, I am not telling you at all, not by a long shot, that this movie, that this show doesn't deserve criticism, isn't going to be bad or anything like that. What I'm saying is give it an open and fair assessment of criticism, because it has it. It's written throughout the entire plot of the entire opening episode. Like the fact that the Hulk punched a giant space worm with no issue, but he was literally ran over by a Jeep. We can talk a legitimate criticism. And speaking of getting hit by a Jeep, like the other, no, not like, I hate when I use that word. The next criticism being, oh, she's a bad driver, or she didn't see that giant spaceship in the road. The ship did just kind of drop down out of the sky. And yeah, true enough, she wasn't paying attention, but is that really what we want to criticize? Because go back and listen to some of these content creators. They literally roasted her over that. Have you not been on the roads nowadays and see how many people are not paying attention to the road? I mean, hell, if I'm not careful, I'll stop looking at the road in the middle of a conversation. I have to keep myself on track. It's not that serious. It's not worthy of the overwhelming amount of criticism to give that particular action. A ship dropped out the sky when she was driving and she wasn't looking at the road. Shit happens in real life, minus the ship dropping out of the sky. Hell, I have videos of people driving next to me that aren't paying attention and just run up the back of other vehicles. It happens. It happens. It's not worth that. I get it. Y'all don't like Disney. I get it. The things that the showrunners and writers have said have already put you in the mindset to hate it. I get it. But just like a trial for a murderer who's caught on tape, they still have to go through the trial. So all I'm saying is the show will give you enough things to legitimately hate. It does. It will. It shall. The writers already let you know. When a writer said that this is going to be a law comedy but have no idea how to write courtroom scenes, like I said, this show will give you legitimate, open, and easy to criticize cringe moments. But come on, y'all. Let's not just nitpick every little thing like I'm seeing content creators do, because in my opinion, it diminishes your credibility. Because for the people who like it or just feel like myself really meh about it, you drive them against you, turn them against you by the nitpicking. Openly criticize, just be fair about it. I mean, her whole speech to Bruce about how and why she's able to control her anger is, again, another legitimately critical cringe moment. But the other stuff, come on, man. I mean, y'all don't have to talk about the child like, the fact that she's a better Hulk instantly than he had to work years to do, which, and let me stop there. That brings me to this. A lot of things that the people are nitpicking over were already established in the MCU. Apparently, people did not like the fact of how she got her powers. It has changed from the comic. In the comic book, Jen got her powers when she was literally shot up, with bullets, and Bruce had to do an emergency blood transfusion to save her life. Okay. That's how she got it. In this, her blood, Bruce's blood interacted with hers, and she became a Hulk. Do y'all remember the Hulk movie with Ed Norton? Do y'all remember that with Edward Norton? Do y'all remember that? Remember that scene when they were fighting in that bottling plant, in that bottling facility, and the Hulk blood had got inside this bottle, and liquid had gotten into it, and the scene was, I think it was Stan Lee who ended up drinking that bottle that had been tainted with Hulk blood, and his eyes turned green. They were already setting up. So if you didn't get pissed off about it then, if you didn't get mad about it then why are you so pissed off about it now? That's nitpicking. Stop it. Oh, hey man, you know how Michael Jordan said.
Stop it. Get some help.
Just chill out. There are things that legitimately to be criticized, and things that, if you didn't say nothing back then, just go on and wash it away now. They already established it. It was already established. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. All I am trying to say is criticize fairly. Don't let a predisposed position of already hating it make you nitpick and overly criticize that destroys your credibility, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, my content creators, criticize fairly. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Man, we gonna stop it right there. You can catch the rest of that conversation on our Free Mind Thinkers podcast, which you can listen to wherever you listen to any of your favorite podcasts. We are on Amazon Music, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So give us a listen there. If you like what you heard, then tell the world. Share, like the vid. If you have something to say, then please, we encourage everyone, drop a comment. Let us know what's on your mind. And you can find us all over social media. You can find our videos on BitChute, Odyssey, and YouTube. You can communicate with us through our various communication social media site platforms like Twitter, Rumble, Getter, Minds, Gab. Wherever you want to let your free mind thoughts flow, you'll find the Free Mind Thinkers. Plus, we are now setting up our locals page, which we will soon load exclusive content for all those that become members. So stay tuned. Things are going to get greater. Y'all take it light. Remember to listen less, learn more.